So if I were to ask you what is the most best awesomeness anime of all time, what would you respond with? Of course it's Dragon Ball Z. All other opinions are wrong and we all know it. Send hate mail to KyleUniverse@gmail.com. It's okay. So over the course of the last couple decades, we have gotten a ton of Dragon Ball games. Like, to the point where you have to stop and think whether or not the numbers beats the amount of Sonic the Hedgehog games there are. But during E3 2017 at Microsoft's press conference, we were treated to Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Or, wait a minute, is it Fighters? Or is it Fighters Z? Tomato tomato. Right away, people were blown away by the art style. This game really did look like you were controlling the characters in an episode of the show. It looked beautiful. So ultimately, how is it? Well, this is an arcade fighter that harkens back to the days of such classics like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, in which you choose 3 different characters for each battle, and during said battle, you can swap out or bring other characters in for large attacks. Some gamers might take issue with performing the character's special moves, while others may applaud how easy it is. Okay, so you know how in Street Fighter everyone has different button combinations to achieve their special attacks? This game is more of the same button combinations for every character to pull off flashy moves. And once again, some players may love it because you don't have to memorize a lot of different button combinations, but I can also see hardcore gamers wanting more of a challenge and overall Street Fighter feel, shall we say. So when you start the game, you're placed in a hub world leading to all the different features the game has to offer, one being the ability to change your avatar to different Dragon Ball characters. I chose Hercule because he's awesome. So if you ever see a Hercule running around with the name the KyleUniverse over his head, it's me. Trust me, I've been in that hub world a lot and never seen another Hercule. It's like people don't think he's cool or something. So you can go old school if you fancy and head over to Muscle Tower and play arcade mode, or you can access online fighting and play with someone from another part of the planet, or go to the shop and buy items. You know, that type of thing. But one of the most talked about features is the story mode. And for good reason. They actually did a very good job coming up with an original story for a game that really didn't need one. And there is a lot of dialogue in this. It's basically like watching a few episodes of the show. And on top of that, we are introduced to a brand new character that was specifically created for this game by Akira Toriyama himself, Android 21. Think of her as a female Majin Buu with a lot of the same powers and his mighty urge to turn opponents into junk food to increase fighting power. Needless to say, the story revolves around this new character, and it does a good job. Android 21 is legitimately interesting throughout the whole thing, and I wanted to see how the story was going to play out in the end with her character. The only problem I have with the story mode is the clones of the Dragon Ball characters. It's kinda how the story progresses. You fight clone characters and then more of the story is revealed. The thing is, it gets old and repetitive after a while because you're just fighting the same people over and over again, and I feel like it could have been trimmed down a little bit. I would also like to give this game some credit, because in the story mode, at least it does tackle the issue of how certain characters with smaller power levels are able to hold their own against higher level characters.
Hope you don't feel the same about me, because after we're done with this guy, I'm coming for you!
Oh really? I seriously doubt you have the power needed to take me on.
Everyone's at the same level now. You know, because of those waves.
And that's pretty clever, but not as clever as giving you, the player, a pivotal role in the story. So you know how in some games story mode you control a character and then you go over to another character and control that person? Well, Dragon Ball FighterZ decided to give an explanation for that.
You can link up with me. Give me the strength so that I can fight again.
You, the player, are represented in this game by a spark of energy. This right here. This is you. And when the spark travels into a character, you, the player, then take control of that character. It's actually really creative, and I applaud whoever's idea it was. So in conclusion, this game is a ton of fun, and might possibly be the best Dragon Ball game to date. I could see this easily being one of those titles that gamers play at tournaments. If you're a fan of the series, give it a play. You won't be disappointed.